Okay, let's dive right into this explainer, because the entire internet is absolutely buzzing over this story right now. We are unpacking the recently declassified 2026 UAP files. That's unidentified anomalous phenomena, or, what we've all traditionally called UFOs. The big debate here is whether these files are finally lifting the veil on extraterrestrial life, or if we're actually looking at a wildly sophisticated cover story for earthly espionage.
I mean, it's the question on everyone's mind, right? Are we finally looking at proof? We've got official reports from highly trained federal agents describing massive, glowing orange orbs just hovering in the night sky. And we're not talking about a quick, confused glance. In one specific incident, a senior intelligence official actually led a helicopter team toward one of these orbs, and the object instantly displaced itself 20 meters away, effortlessly outrunning the chopper. When trained military observers are documenting things that literally break our current understanding of physics, you've got to take a serious look at the evidence.
And what's crucial to remember is that these reports aren't just blurry videos from some random person's backyard. We have incredibly credible voices going on the record. Take American astronaut Frank Borman. Back in 1965, during the Gemini 7 mission, he literally radioed Houston to report a bogey floating right near his spacecraft. Buzz Aldrin reported unexplained flashing lights inside his cabin during Apollo 11. For decades, these phenomena have been documented by some of the absolute most reliable observers in human history.
All right, moving into Section 1, the 2026 UAP disclosure.
162, that's a massive number. In May 2026, the Trump administration launched a government system called PURSUE, the Presidential Unsealing and Reporting System for UAP encounters. And in their very first data drop, they dumped 162 previously classified documents and 28 totally unseen videos right onto the public internet. It was framed as this unprecedented transparency push, pulling in files from the Pentagon, NASA, the FBI, the whole shebang.
And the pacing of this disclosure was just relentless. They didn't just drop one batch and walk away. May 8th brought the first tranche. Barely 2 weeks later, on May 22nd, boom, 222 new files drop, including a wild video of 4 UFOs flying in formation near Iran. Then on June 12th, we got a detailed report from AARO director Dr. John Kozlowski about this giant orange mother orb seen launching smaller red orbs in midair. It was just a rapid-fire release of information. Which brings us to Section 2, orbs, fireballs, and astronauts. So what exactly is in these files? What are these folks actually seeing out there? While drone pilots and service members reported those glowing orange orbs, there's an infrared video from 2023 showing an object over the ocean in Greece, making sudden 90-degree turns at 80 miles per hour. We've got reports of green fireballs during Apollo 12. Soldiers over the Cheyenne Mountain complex reported seeing a white, potato-shaped object, so definitely not your sleek Hollywood flying saucer. And there are even Apollo 17 photos showing 3 distinct dots in a triangle above the moon. But the common thread tying all these bizarre encounters together is this. They appear to completely defy the laws of physics and inertia. To put that into perspective, basic physics tells us that if a human aircraft tried to execute a 90-degree turn at 80 miles per hour, like that object in Greece, the sheer force would violently rip it apart. It completely throws our understanding of aerodynamics and propulsion right out the window.
Next up, Section 3, Public Frenzy and Skepticism.
As you can imagine, the public reaction to all this was a total media circus, creating a very stark divide. On one side, you had literal religious panic. Pastors were warning their congregations about demonic translucent beings, claiming this disclosure was going to shatter the Christian faith. But then, on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, you had mainstream astrophysicists and former investigators looking at the exact same files and just completely dismissing them. To them, these were nothing more than optical artifacts, fuzzy blobs, camera smears, and weather balloons. They argued there was absolutely zero evidence of aliens.
But here's the kicker: 40%. Despite all that scientific skepticism, the Pentagon's own June 12th report noted that a staggering 40% of these reported phenomena lack any reasonable explanation. They remain completely unresolved. So even the government is officially going on the record saying, yeah, we have no idea what these things are.
To really understand how to process this, we need to look at Section 4, the Roswell Playbook.
Think back to 1947. A mysterious debris field is found near the Roswell Army Airfield. The initial cover story? The military actually issued a press release claiming they recovered a crashed flying disc. But decades later, the declassified files revealed the reality. That debris was Project Mogul, a highly classified Cold War operation using high-altitude spy balloons to listen for Soviet nuclear tests. The government quickly realized it was so much easier to let the public believe a spaceship had crashed than to admit they were aggressively spying on the Soviets.
It's like the ultimate bait and switch. They created this brilliant three-step counterintelligence loop. Step 1, you test your highly classified espionage tech. Step 2, when people inevitably spot it, you just let the public UFO rumors run wild. And step 3, you actively weaponize that science fiction hysteria as a counterintelligence shield. By leaning into the alien mystery, the government successfully hid their absolute most advanced espionage tech in plain sight.
Which perfectly sets up Section 5, the geopolitical reality. Just take a close look at where these newly declassified sightings are actually clustered. The Western US, Greece, Syria, Iraq, Japan. They are definitely not landing randomly. If these are intergalactic travelers, you have to ask yourself why they almost exclusively hover over America's most sensitive military installations and global conflict zones. That tight geographic clustering strongly suggests we're looking at a byproduct of human military operations, not alien tourism.
So looking through that historical lens, a very prominent theory emerges. We might actually be witnessing a terrestrial arms race. Under this theory, when American sensors are triggered in places like Iraq or the Indo-Pacific, they aren't picking up extraterrestrials. They're picking up adversarial surveillance tools operating at the very edge of modern physics. We're talking about things like new Iranian drone swarms or experimental Chinese motherships that can launch smaller, sensor-equipped craft mid-flight.
And this brings us back to a very grounding quote from the Defense Department's Anomaly Resolution Office in 2024. They stated flat out, "There is zero evidence that the U.S. government possesses extraterrestrial technology. We already know other nations use these advanced tactics. Just remember that Chinese high-altitude spy balloon shot down over the U.S. in 2023. So, skeptics argue that periodically releasing these vague, context-free UAP files actually serves a dual purpose. It hides earthly intelligence operations, and it generates a massive media circus that conveniently crowds out other, potentially damaging news."
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. The next time a grainy video of a glowing orb makes the front page and the entire internet goes wild with theories of alien visitation, ask yourself, will you look to the stars for the answer or to the geopolitical map? Because the truth might just be a lot closer to home than we want to believe. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and keep questioning what's really hiding behind the cosmic mystery.